I'm going to show you how to create bar and line graphs. So remember, your bar and line graph or line graph are going to go on the back of your box. So you either need to create a line graph or a bar graph depending on your data. But you only need to choose one of the two. So let's take a look at my data. So my data, I had one fifth grader that wanted to build a snowman and 22 that wanted to go sledding, 5 family members that wanted to build a snowman and 3 that wanted to go sledding, 2 family members that wanted to build a snowman and 6 that wanted to go sledding. This is the bar graph that the computer created for me that you can do as an option and print it out if that's an option for you. Otherwise, I'm going to show you how you can draw a bar graph or a line graph using a piece of paper. So, since most of you probably don't have graph paper at home, I would suggest using a piece of lined paper and either a ruler or a straight edge. So, I'm going to be using Notability, so I'm not going to have a ruler or a straight edge, so I'm just going to do my best. And I'm going to draw out my y-axis and my x-axis using the lines to help guide me. So now I have my axes. But don't forget that we need our title. So really, I should have moved those down a little bit, but I'm going to type out my title just so that we can see it a little bit better. So, would you rather build a snowman or go sledding? So now that I have a title, I need to figure out my scale for my y-axis. So I'm going to go back and look at my data. So my highest number is 22 and my lowest number is 1. So that means I need a span on my graph of 1 to 22. So I know that I always have to have 0 right here. So now I have to think I have how many lines to work with. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 lines to work with. So that means I can get up to 30 if I count by 2. So I'm going to use a scale of 2. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. So I should be able to get all my data points on this chart now. But I need to remember to label my y-axis. So I need to label this I'm going to label it number of people. So that's the number of people that want to do each activity. And then I have to have my x-axis. So I'm going to have 5th grade. I'm going to have family. And I'm going to have friends. Are the people that I surveyed. So this is people surveyed for my label. So now I can add my bars to my graph. So I have, for 5th grade, I had, but before I do my graph, I need to come up with my key. So I'm going to have people that wanted to go sledding and the people who wanted to build a snowman. So your key can either go right up here in the graph, it could go below the graph, it can go off to the side of the graph, just so that there is a key that tells us which each bar stands for. So I'm going to do my snowman. One 5th grader wanted to build a snowman. So since I don't have an exact 1 on my bar graph, I need to go in between, right in between 0 and 2 to get my 1. So I'm going to draw my bar and I'm going to color it in. Then for family, I had 5 family members who wanted to build a snowman. So I'm going to go up between 4 and 6. To get my bar for 5 and color it in. And then for friends, I had 2 friends who wanted to build a snowman. So I'm going to go up to my 2 line and I'll color it in. So now I need to change my colors back to sledding. And for 5th grade, I had 22 5th graders who wanted to sled. So I'm going to color that in. I had 3 family members, so I'm going to go in between 2 and 4 and draw in my bar. And friends, I had 6 friends, so I'm going to go up to my 6th line. And I'm going to draw in my bar. So now I have my hand-drawn bar graph. It's got the labels for the X and the Y axis. It's got a good number scale. It's labeled on the X axis. It's got my key and it's got a title. Now, for a line graph, you're going to do it pretty much the same way, but except for bars, you're going to do dots and lines instead. So you're going to have to set up your graph in exactly the same way, but the difference comes in when you are graphing. So you still need your key, but instead of a bar, we're going to do plots. So for 5th grade, we would do 22 wanted to sled. For family, we had 3, so I'm still going to go between that 2 and that 4. And I'm going to draw a dot. And for friends, I had 6. And then I connect my dots. And you would want to do this with a straight edge or a ruler. So a straight edge can be anything that has a straight edge that can help you draw a line. It can be another notebook. It can be another piece of paper. It can be anything that has a straight edge that's lying around your house. And then I have to go back and I have to put in my snowman line now. So for 5th grade, only one person wanted to build a snowman. For family, 5 people. So I'm going to go between 4 and 5. And for friends, only 2. So I'm going to go down to 2. So you can see my dots are over each other or under each other, but they are in different colors so that I can compare which one had more. So there is my line graph for my data. So you need to choose one of the 2 to make sure that you have your data. So this is your last step really in creating your cereal box project, is creating your graph. So you have today to finish gathering your data and working on getting caught up. And then you have today and tomorrow to work on your cereal box project, and it is due on Friday. So make sure that you are working hard, that if you haven't filled out the Google Forms yet, that you've gone and done that so people have data, and that you are working to get your bar graph completed so that you can just put on your finishing touches tomorrow.